finally some information has come out with the woman that has been involved in this whole scandal with Ime Udoka and the Boston Celtics. Remember last week I said when it needs to be put out there, the media organizations, they don't care about these women, man.
They don't, man. This is not the first time he's done this. It came out that more and more rumors are becoming public. It's been suggested that he has a long history of sleeping with multiple women everywhere he's coached.
The scandal that continues to give and give and give and give and give
and give
and give. Ime Udoka. So some more information has come out and some finalization or confirmation of the actual woman. And I want to take credit for us not going completely into the scandal. I didn't want to. I didn't want to put any false information out there. But Sticks. Not that he wanted to put false information out, but he definitely wanted to, put the gospel out and
for sure
and say what he knew or what he thought he knew about the situation to entertain everybody. But I was kind of holding the reins back a little bit. But anyway, long story short, we finally know who the woman is. Finally, some information has come out with the woman that has been involved in this whole scandal with Ime Udoka and the Boston Celtics. Kathleen Nimmo Lynch has been confirmed as the woman that was cheating with Ime Udoka during this Boston Celtics scandal. She is the team's service manager who helps arrange travel, lodging, game tickets for the families at the home and away games for the Boston Celtics. She also helped, or is likely to have helped, Nia Long with her traveling, and then also helping her arrange travel for her move in Boston. They're still sticking with the power dynamics is the reason for the length of the suspension with Ime Udoka. And then somehow Danny Ainge is involved in all this, who hasn't even been involved with the Celtics for at least a year. Somehow his names get thrown into there.
So he's still involved in the organization because he plays a role with the organization still. He's not coaching. He's not like the president, but he still has some kind of part in. He holds some role in the organization. But we'll talk about that later. But go ahead.
Okay, we'll talk about that later because you saw my face.
Yeah.
But somehow Danny Ainge is involved in this and some other stuff as far as alleged with Ime is he may have been messing with other women in the organization.
That's definitely a rumor that he had possibly messed with other people in the organization, other women in the organization. But what was really said was that he has done this with every organization that he has worked for.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
so that's where that actually came into play, because it's like, this is not the first time he's done this. You know what I'm saying? Like every place that he stopped, and I didn't go down the road to look at the places that he's actually worked for or coached or anything like that. But it came out that, because what I read was, it says things don't look good for Udoka, who has been banned from the NBA for a year. It says, unfortunately for him, more and more rumors are becoming public. It's been suggested that he has a long history of sleeping with multiple women everywhere he's coached. So
you kind of
kind of, so this man, I mean, he's been engaged to Nia for 7 years,
right?
And he been slanging for a while now, like my boy, what you got going on, my dog?
Yeah, man. Hey, all right. So Sticks, now that everything has been confirmed, how do you feel about this situation?
Well, just to go back to what D-Lo said at the beginning of the episode, we were trying to not to feed too much into the allegation of who the woman was, because we didn't want to speculate and do the same thing that these media outlets are doing. But whenever I did kind of release those two names, Miss Nimmo Lynch was one of those names that I did say, hey, she might be one of these women who who was in this situation with Udoka, and it does come out that she was, So
she was. And so I was just gonna say, but the only thing that's different about her name being involved is her position, because I think when it first came out, it was the Lynch that was attached to the VP of the Celtics organization. It was
Correct.
like the wife of, not
the wife of.
who, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's not actually the Nimmo Lynch that's the service manager.
Well, so she is the wife of the VP though.
No,
but she just acts. She's not.
No, she's
Are you
the
sure?
wife. Yeah, she's the wife of a consultant, a financial consultant that assists the Boston Celtics organization, but he has no direct ties to the. So that's the so that's what it is.
Okay.
Yes, but he has no direct ties to the Boston Celtics. He's like a third-party consultant or whatever.
Okay, got you. But it did go on to say, and I don't know why they was putting all this information about this young lady out there, but it says she's a devout Mormon who is a mother of 3. Who cares?
What? But Sticks, remember last week I said they don't, when it needs to be put out there, the media organizations, they don't care about these women, man.
They don't, man. They really don't. But the crazy thing is we know that they don't care about them, but they were protecting her. They were protecting her so heavy the last 2 weeks, bro. Like, why? Yeah. And you put, like we said in the first episode, the first time we did this episode on Udoka, you putting Udoka all on Front Street for everybody to talk about and hate on and talk shit about, and you protecting this woman. But whenever she finally comes out and figure out exactly who she is, you put all her business in the street.
All her business out there.
All of it in the street. That means you didn't care to begin with. So why were you protecting her? Like, so crazy.
Right. Like, so again, it leads me to believe there is more to this than we actually know right now. So it's more to this situation, or it's more to her situation and Danny Ainge's situation? Because why he all of a sudden get thrown in this out the blue, and he's not been with them for a year. And it's funny to me that you say he still has some type of role with the school, with the team, but he is the director of basketball operations for the Utah Jazz. How that's conflicting. So you can't do that, right? Well, I know he has a son that works with the team still.
Right. So I was wrong. I thought whenever I read up on it, it said he was still the chief of basketball operations for them, but it said he used to be. So that was my mistake. That was my mistake.
Okay. Yeah. But so I mean that's all of a sudden Danny Ainge gets thrown into it, and then you let her information come out. It's more to this than I think they want us to believe now. They're just trying to, again, as we've been saying this whole time, they're trying to let this die down, but until all the facts truly come out, it's not going to die down, and it will continue to get the flag or the wave of smoke. The what am I trying to say right now? They're still trying to flame the smoke. They're still going to flame the smoke to figure out what's really going on right now in this whole situation. Until all of it comes out, it's just going to keep getting flamed.
It's going to definitely keep getting flamed. But just to go back to the Danny Ainge thing, the reason why he kind of got involved is because his daughter Taylor is best friends with Kathleen Lynch, and she came out and kind of made a statement about what was going on. I mean, I'm not going to read her statement because it really don't make a difference. Right. But that's why Danny Ainge was so up in arms about it, because he knows Miss Lynch very, very well, because his daughter is best friends of hers, and he's grown to have a relationship with Miss Lynch. But like Danny, that ain't got nothing to do with Danny Ainge though. Like nothing at all. Like, it has zero to do with him.
In China, man.
Zero. Like
everybody in the organization knows this woman pretty well. Like, God, I'm sure. Come on.
Yeah. So
how just get thrown into it? That's why I'm like, it's got to be, to me, that's the first thing that popped in my mind is all of a sudden they throw Danny Ainge in it. It's got to be more to that than. It's like a movie. This really is like a movie. Somebody
it's definitely
put that
like
in
a movie.
Comments.
Somebody did, bro. Somebody did.
It really is like a movie, man. Because
it is, bro.
When a character gets introduced in a movie, you gotta figure out what his role is in a movie.
And usually, whenever that character is introduced, it's usually a dramatic entrance. Sometimes, this is like Miss Lynch's dramatic entrance. Like, what, bruh?
Right. Exactly. Bruh. Exactly. So. All right, so then now that we actually know who the person is, the woman, I should say, do you still feel like she should not be punished?
I definitely think she should be punished. But just like I said in the first episode, there's no reason why there's two people in this situation who broke the same exact rules, no matter how high Udoka is in this food chain of this organization, it don't matter. They did the same thing. They broke the same rules. I don't think they should get the same punishment.
Yeah.
But she should be suspended. She should be suspended without pay, or it don't matter. She should have some kind of reprimand, because there's no reason you are suspending this man for the whole year. He can't be around the organization for the whole year, and they are still going to reevaluate after he comes back from this suspension. So, like you said last week and the week before, to you that means he's fired.
For sure.
And especially whenever Grossbeck said he's not going to keep him from looking at jobs elsewhere, again, to us, that means he's fired. So if you're going to fire this man, what's going on with Ms. Lynch?
Yeah.
Why she not getting no kind of punishment, no kind of suspension, no nothing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, find something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but of course, because Ime is the coach and he has a little bit more to lose, they put him on Front Street. But what you think? How you feel about it?
I feel exactly how you feel. I feel like she needs some type of punishment too, whether it's and we as the public won't know if she's punished or not, but whether it's 2 weeks, 2 months, something, she needs some type of reprimand as well as Udoka. Now, he probably should have more of a suspension just because of the quote unquote power dynamic, where again, as I mentioned to you in the first episode, I don't think that players and coaches sit in the same organizational chart for basketball or professional organizations as the other staffers. So that power dynamic that we keep talking about is different. The only reason it's a power dynamic, I believe, is because he is like one of the faces of the franchise.
The public figures,
that's the only, right. He's like, yeah. So that's the only reason why it's a power dynamic. But the true power dynamic where the lady or the worker is directly under the boss, or, they sit in the lower chart, that's not a true power dynamic that we're speaking of here.
I agree.
But yeah, I definitely feel like it should be some type of punishment for her as well. But when you read up on different articles of when her identity was revealed, it says she's scared to go out and get groceries because now her image has been all out. So it's kind of like that's her punishment, I guess. It's like the public shame. Yeah, and it's bad that happened, but they knew what they were. If you mess with a public figure and you're married and he is in a relationship, you gotta also think about the consequences of that. And this was the consequence. She is, I wouldn't say she's publicly shamed. Well, maybe she is. I don't know. But
maybe
if she's publicly shamed, it's because her identity has been held captive for so long.
Agreed.
And now that it's finally out, for sure, it's been confirmed. So now everybody's like, oh, it's you. And so the thing to me is, look, and I know that this is going to be funny. I know that I'm not the most photogenic and all that, but her pictures, I'm like,
I think I honestly, it is crazy because I was about to make a comment about that in a second, but I think he was trying to pick the most low key person that nobody would think that he would mess with. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people in media that were like, number one, playing the race card, which is kind of crazy. But people were saying like, he's a black man with a black wife, and he cheated with a white woman who was nowhere close to Nia's caliber. So it's like, bruh. So just like you said, I'm not the most photogenic either. I mean, I don't really like taking pictures, to be honest. I just recently started smiling in pictures, but.
And then we're on a video podcast.
Exactly. So, which is crazy, right?
The contradiction in that.
I swear. But it's like, I think he was really, if that's the case, I think he was like kind of trying to be low key. Like he can't, Miss Feaster would have been too obvious because black chick, athletic, cute, you know what I'm saying? So that would have been way too obvious. But Miss Lynch is like, he might do this. I can like get away with this one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like she don't seem like anybody I really fuck with like that. You know what I'm saying? So that not knowing that. I mean, most dudes will get down with what they can get down with. To be honest.
Yeah.
So anybody,
but not knowing that she answering phone calls in front of her Ring camera.
Dummy, like
stupid.
Like, no, the stupid. Like, come on, bro. That's kind of what makes that a little bit more damning, is because honestly, they said, I saw another report that this relationship ended well before the case even started.
Right.
Which makes the Ring camera footage that came out last week so much more damning, because if this ended so long ago, but I ain't gonna say so long ago, say it ended a month ago or 2 months ago, right?
Well, it had to end. It had to end at least 2 months ago, because the initial reports were saying the Celtics knew about this relationship like in July, and so July,
so it had to end well for this. Yeah,
exactly. So, and then the private team was brought in
September last month,
investigated. So yeah, it had to have ended.
So it had to have ended at least in August. So a month before at least. So, but if that's the case, then this Ring camera footage came out last week. Why are you still talking about this? If this ended a month before the investigation even started, why are you still in front of your Ring camera, girl? I remember when I miss Ime. Girl, I miss Ime that month. You know what I'm saying? Like type shit.
Yeah. But this is the thing though. So that's how it originally was started. The investigation was started. So if the investigation was started, so it may be some conflicting stories, right? Because the Celtics are saying they started an investigation from a third party law firm. I have read that the actual third party law firm or private investigator was brought on by Lynch's husband. And then he went, yeah, and then he went to the Boston Celtics and said, you need to fix this, or you need to do something about this. And that's when they did what they did. And that's when everything started to come out.
Got you. Okay, so it is some conflicting stories out there, because I was hearing that she was still talking about it, but you heard that the investigation came out because she talked. Okay, I got you. So that your story is probably the truest of the two, because I can see that happening more so than her. An investigation happening and you still on your Ring in front of the Ring camera on your phone talking about it. So your story is probably the most true for sure. Yeah. But
so go ahead.
Now I was just gonna break into Nia Long finally breaking her silence on the whole thing on Insta.
Have at it, my guy.
Yeah. So she finally broke her silence, post on Instagram saying, a tip for mental health: learn to distinguish who deserves an explanation, who deserves an answer, and who deserves absolutely nothing. So what do you take from that statement? What do you take from that statement?
I take that she still wants to be private about what's going on. I take that she's saying that we as the public don't deserve an explanation for whatever she decides to do in the future, or whatever she's doing right now, whatever they're going through as a family, or, whether she decides to reconcile or not. I take it as she's hurt, but she's going to still try to remain strong about the situation. What do you think?
I'm on the side with you. I feel like she's saying that, so it's three parts to that, right? Learn to distinguish who deserves an explanation, right?
Yep.
First off, of course, she's the one that deserves the explanation. But with her statement, I don't think she deserves to explain herself to anybody, because she was the one that was wronged in the situation. So she's not the one that deserves to explain herself. She deserves the explanation. Ime deserves to explain himself as to why the fuck did you do this? Right? Now, who deserves one answer is the public. They deserve the one answer. I'm fine. That's all she got to say. Yeah. I'm fine. I'm going to stay strong. Yeah. Right? And who deserves absolutely nothing is Ime. He don't deserve nothing else from Nia. Because if he's been engaged to this woman for 7 years, and he's been rumored to be having these relationships everywhere that he's coached. So he's been doing wrong this whole time. So he deserves nothing from Nia. Period. So those three parts is what I kind of broke it down to.
Yeah. And that's a great assessment of the situation. But we talk all the time. And I always say that one thing causes a ripple effect.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole situation for Nia Long has caused a ripple effect because one of the key questions that came out from this whole, when this scandal first started, was she was his wife.
She's not his wife,
yeah,
correct?
She's not his wife. Then it was fiance of XYZ years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then so when that comes out, it's like, well, dang, Ime don't want to marry her. But if you dig a little deep, you read that she's not a big fan of marriage, and not
exactly
to victimize the victim, not to do
to
that to her.
Villainize,
yes, not to villainize the victim, and that's not exactly what I'm trying to do here. But I'm just saying, I think she's going to try to. At some point, it may take a while, but I think she may try to reconcile, assuming that the other allegations are not true.
Got you.
So if it's just this one time that it's happened, and we've heard that all parties are trying to fight for their families back, and if this is the one time that has happened for Ime, she may try to take him back.
Yeah, I think she'll definitely maybe try to reconcile, depending on the rest of the allegations and things from the past. But it's funny you said that, because I had a quote here that she says, "I don't believe I need to say I do to prove to you that I love you. I don't know that I need to feel like I'm in a partnership that's working if I have to get married." So she's not really a big she's not really a big component of marriage, but they have been engaged for 7 years. But she's not rushing into marriage at all, all. You know what I'm saying?
And she's entitled to how she feels. He's entitled to how he feels. Everybody is entitled to their opinion and their opinions on marriage. I'm married. If other people don't want to get married, it is what it is. But
I look forward to getting married someday. So
yeah. So I mean, I don't want people to hear what I said and say, "Oh, he's trying to villainize her because she doesn't want to get married." That's not the case. Or she was cheated on because she didn't want to get married to him. That's not the case either. I was just bringing that up because the quote that you mentioned, that kind of plays a part into her answer. To me, that plays a part in her answer as well, because not that public information about her saying she doesn't want to get married, I'm sure people can look that up, and she probably has realized, her publicist or somebody said, "Well, you said this back in the day," and so now people are coming to, well, why aren't y'all married? Well, how do you feel about him cheating? Stuff like that. So she's came with that quote. Who needs an explanation? Who needs nothing? And who needs a response?
Exactly. So, I mean, I think they'll eventually reconcile. I mean, she's going to have to answer to those questions anyway. If she does if she does go on any shows or speaks publicly to anybody, goes on any podcast or whatever. Nia, we here. You want to come talk? But holla at us. But nah, I mean, I think Nia is gonna be cool. I mean, she's staying strong through all this anyway, so she's gonna be straight. I just wanted to bring one more thing too before we go to the next segment. There was an article that said hip hop's obsession with Nia Long will be the end of Ime Udoka. Did you see that?
I agree. Yes. No, I did not see that, but I do agree with that because it's going. Okay. Before we get into that, I have an issue with the mainstream media referring to her as Fresh Prince of Bel-Air star or actress Nia Long. Like that's the only thing she ever did in her life.
That's correct. When I read that in an article, I was like, bro, that's not the only thing she did, bro. Because it made it seem like she had so many more movies, so many more roles. Yeah. Like she was more of a star at the time than Will even was.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But like, bruh, that is an issue. That is an issue for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. But for sure, hip hop is going, the obsession with Nia Long and hip hop is definitely going to be the end for Ime Udoka, because her DMs are being blown up right now.
Blown up.
The memes of Cole, of she played in with, well, he's with somebody else right now, but the different characters that she played roles for, the girlfriend or the wife, in these different roles, those memes are popping up all over the place. So,
ain't they though?
Yeah. So I mean, he better come back like Kobe with the daggone $4 million ring.
He better come back with something, boy. He better show it on a press conference. He better go out there with Nia and the kids. He got to do something because the hip hop obsession that joint dates back to the 90s. So of course, the hip hop community, the black community, especially the black community, is not gonna let Udoka easily forget about this transgression, bro. Because there's so many. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, especially the black women.
Especially the black women. Even the black men that still have that slight, like, Nia, like they still have that slight crush on Nia, even though, you know what I'm saying, that it's back. Her real claim to fame or her stardom was in the 90s and a little bit in the 2000s, but people still have that, that's Nia. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Yeah. But she even said that our boy J. Cole was not too young. Did you see?
So can we get into that real quick?
Go ahead. Talk about it. Talk about it.
I didn't know she was engaged. So now, because when she said that was not that long ago.
It wasn't. It was, I think, maybe a year ago, maybe.
Like, really?
Because she said he's really not too young. He just doesn't know it. That's exactly what she said.
Well, hold on. Udoka's how old?
Udoka is 41. No, 45. Udoka's 45. She's 51.
Oh, okay. Because Cole is our age.
Cole is 37. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, okay, I guess that makes sense. But you can't say, I mean, I know like in entertainment, you try to keep the fantasy of she's available or he's available. So, let's act like you're not married. But you can't say that type of stuff.
You can't. Not when you engage, Mike. Come on now. Come on, bro. But I mean, but it's been so many lyrics from of course our boy J. Cole to Lil Wayne to Juicy J. Everybody, Kanye, Lil Wayne.
Kanye, oh God, Kanye. Here we go.
Yeah, couldn't keep it at home. Thought I needed a Nia Long, bruh. Yeah. But we want to talk about him soon too. But it's been so many lyrics about her in hip hop. But I mean, there's many people who is including the hip hop community, as well as NBA insiders and coaches and analysts that say his career might be done as a whole, man. So we're gonna have to see what the future holds for him.
Yeah, which makes you wonder again, what else is there? Especially since Matt Barnes, we go back to Matt Barnes because his statement alone was pretty defining. In saying that the final statement he said on his interview with Vlad TV is, if everything comes out, it's going to get hot in the kitchen. And I don't think he's going to have a job anywhere at the NBA. If what we know right now, with the information that's been released, is what is supposed to come out, all that needs to come out, I don't think that's damning enough to keep him from being a coach in the NBA.
I don't think so either. I mean, because like you said, it was a consensual relationship. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Both of them, I'm not going to say regardless of, but he came out with some, the language that he was using and what he was saying to the young lady, this and the third. Okay, that's pretty damning. But whenever this whole situation started, it was consensual. So she knew what she was getting into. He knew what he was getting into. They did their thing. They ended it, but then it came out. So she should be suspended or fined or something. He should be suspended, which he is. And then after that, we need to figure out exactly what we're going to do. I think he'll have, but what's crazy? I said this last week, D-Lo, because remember whenever Grossbeck said he's not going to hold him from getting any jobs anywhere else. And I was like, well, it depends on how crazy the allegations are. If they really want these problems to come into their organization in the future. And knowing that he may have allegedly had a lot of other relationships everywhere that he's coached.
Yeah.
Who else? Ain't nobody taking him, bro. Because if he's coached 5 places before the Celtics, he's had 6 situations like this in the past. Ain't no other organization bringing him and risk that happening a 7th time.
Or they will. Or they will, and just make sure that he's under a microscope with every interaction that he does. Because if he's done it in other organizations and it's just now coming out, you can bet your bippy. That this was known before he was the head coach of the Celtics.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It could go either way for Ime. I mean, I hope his career isn't over. But with what he's done, I wouldn't be surprised if it is, to be honest.
Yeah. Better luck next time, my guy.
Better luck next time, boy. Don't do it again. Stay away from Ring cameras.
For sure. Well, make sure if you messing with somebody, they stay away from the Ring camera.
That's a fact. Agent made a statement that says, if Black people make overcoming disadvantages too much of their culture and brand, not going to want to overcome them because then they become less Black.
There's validity in that.
For real.
But to strictly put that on Black people and to say that we continually publicize the struggle and we make that our brand, then we don't want to get out of it, I don't think that's fair.